Hey everybody, Philipp Schnensky here. In this video I'll be demoing the Rossie Filter Pedal by GFI Sytem. The Rossie is a very powerful filter pedal. It does envelope filter, wah sounds, and there's also a third mode. It's called step filter, giving you a very rhythmical envelope filter sound. There's 4 knobs with different functions, so there's like secondary functions and stuff, which I'll explain in the demo. If you have watched my Skylar demo from 2 videos ago, you will recognize the GFI system. It runs on 9V DC. You can attach an expression pedal, which is really cool if you are going for a wah sound, which you can tweak. And you can also attach a tap tempo pedal with a step filter mode and go for different rhythmical sounds. Super cool stuff. Let's check it out. Okay, this is my Les Paul standard. Into my Revv D20 I'm also using the ZO by Source Audio in its E-Plex, so like EP type of boost to fatten up the telly a little bit. Here it is without the Rossie. And here comes the Rossie in its envelope filter mode. Which is really fun. Let's explore the 3 different envelope filter modes that you get with this pedal, and also let's check out the buttons. The buttons basically have 3 or 4 functions depending on how you see it. With this button you choose between the 3 modes. You saw that there's this envelope filter mode, which I just showed you. There's a step filter mode, which with these settings sounds like this. And there's a manual filter mode, which is actually designed to use an expression pedal and basically design your own wah. I would need to tweak the knobs here and actually attach an expression pedal to show it to you guys properly, which we'll do later. Let's go back to the envelope filter mode and see. So here you can choose the mix of the affected signal and your dry signal. So this is more or less 50-50 now. Okay, let's go back to 100% so you can really hear what the effect is doing. With this knob, you're setting the sensitivity, and I think it's meant to basically fine-tune the pedal to the output of either your pickups or So for instance, if you are playing with humbuckers, you have more output, you might go for a lower sensitivity. With my Tele and my Les Paul, I'm basically cranking this pedal, so I'm all the time on 99 or 100%. However, I also checked out what happens, you know, if you go for a distorted sound, which you're sending into the Rossie, then you might actually go lower. Or if you simply don't want that much sensitivity, if you want the effect to be more shallow. Again, full. So you have more dynamic range if you want to, if you are on 99% or whatever. I don't know why they don't go to 100. As you can see, so I can like play with the dynamics. Or there's less high information, it's more shallow. Here with the range knob you can find the frequency. And then each button has a secondary function. So this one here, you can choose the Q, so which is how much of a bump you want with the frequency that you chose before. The secondary function of this knob means you can go for an envelope filter up or down. The down one sounds like this. You get a lot of high-end information, which, you know, I guess is cool on bass, or if you go for a more smooth sound. Okay, so here, let's go back to the upper LFO with the mix knob. With the mix knob, you can choose between 4 different LFOs actually. So let me go back. I want you guys to see it. So here you go. This is the low pass filter, which sounds like this. Which I think is cool on bass. I used it on the bass part of my intro jam. The next filter is the band pass filter, which is more mid forward. Up next, you have a high-pass filter, which I find really cool. And the last filter mode is the low-pass and the high-pass filter together. Which sounds like this. Okay, let's head over to the step filter mode. Here you still have a mix knob. You can choose the tempo. So let's go for like 135 BPM here. Which is super cool. With this knob, you can fine-tune the rhythm you're going for. And maybe before you do this, the secondary function of this knob is how many steps you are going for. So let's go for 4 steps. You can see these 4 lines, and you can put them up or down. And if you press and turn this knob, you can choose which of these 4/8 notes, or however you want to see them, you want to accentuate or put down. So this rhythm would be like this. So you can really fine tune a rhythm and, you know, use it as, just have fun with it. So this is super cool. The secondary function of this knob again is the high or low pass filter. Here you can choose the steps as I already showed you guys. And here you can choose a range. So range 0, which has basically less high-end information, sounds like this. And here's range 10. You can see more high-end information actually. So this is the step filter mode, which is really fun. So let me attach an expression pedal and then we can explore the manual filter mode. Okay, in order to keep this demo relatively short, I didn't change my camera arrangement here, so I just have my Dunlop mini expression pedal hooked up to the Rossie right now. And you can basically map each parameter, so the frequency in this case, which is this one, then the range, and even the mix to your expression pedal. So you do this by first pressing the button. By doing so, you are either mapping or unmapping the parameter to the expression pedal. What I did here, I did map the frequency knob here, so to the expression pedal. You do this by first mapping it, then holding it, and then turning it. You first go for a toe value, so let's go for 72% here, and then go down to and set your heel value. So as you can see, like this, you can basically fine tune a wah sound that is super cool. You could do the same with the range and even with the mix, as I said. The secondary functions here you have again your filter modes. Here in this setting, in the manual filter setting, by the way, this one, you can choose a taper mode or a taper, which is like, you know, what you also get with different wah pedals. And here you have again the cue, so you can really find a wah sound that suits your rig, your guitar or whatever, and just wacko away, which is super cool. The pedal also has a momentary function, so if you are in the off position, you can just use it momentarily. And it also has a ramp mode. For this you need to keep this knob pressed, or the foot switch pressed. And the pedal goes into this ramp function, so lots of tweakability here, killer stuff. I'm really enjoying the Rossie. If you are like me and you have like a bunch of overdrive and fuzz pedals, you might be looking for something else, and I highly recommend going down the road of envelope filters. The Rossie is super tweakable, as I hope to have shown you guys. I'm really enjoying it. I personally really connect with the dynamic nature of the envelope filter effect, and you can really fine tune and tweak this pedal to your desires. I love the 3 modes. The step filter mode gives me like synth vibes, so I'm definitely gonna use it for like productions in the background and stuff. You can also be creative with this effect. You saw me using the Grear Lightspeed, which I was running into the Rossie in my intro jam. You could also run it into a delay pedal or into a huge reverb or whatever, you know, like be really creative with it. It sounds also killer on bass, which you also heard me doing in my intro tune. I might even play you out with some bass noodling with the Rossie. So killer stuff. The word that sticks to me here is fun. It's just fun. I'm, you know, bonding with these type of sounds, and if, as I said already, if you have already a collection of Overdrive pedals, just check out something else. I highly recommend the Rossie. I thank you guys for watching this demo. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a like and a comment, and I hope to see you for the next one. Ciao!
Bye.